Hey, this is MassX with a brand new One Punch Man the Strongest video, and today we're going to talk about Bangbu. We're going to talk about the bomb era. We know bomb is coming in the next backup stick. We could sit here and do the debate on how they should or should not have included bomb in the backup stick, but that's for a different video. This is going to be a video breakdown of bomb, the importance and recommendations out of the gate. So let's go ahead and jump right in, okay? Because the importance of this character. Now, this character, as you can see, is a grappler, martial artist, healing restraint, multi-ally agility, resilience, core. Now, we really don't care about the character itself. It's really the core that makes this character so important. But let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the skills. The basic attack, Fist of Steel, deals damage to a single target by 130% of attack and reduces the target's heal rate by 30% for 2 rounds. The ultimate deals damage to each enemy in a row with 3 consecutive strikes by 195% of attack, has a 100% chance to reduce main target's heal rate, has a 50% chance to reduce heal rate of targets in the same row by 45%. The passive for this character, after battle starts, grants agility to himself and allies around him, reduces higher direct damage 12% to 60% while taking less incoming strikes, cannot coexist with non-crit damage free, revives with 40% max HP after taking fatal damage for the first time in every battle. So that's it in a nutshell for the character itself. The core is what we really need to be focusing on, okay? The core itself. Basic effect grants 3 energy points per round, permanently grants 30% block rate to all allies. Requirement is 1 duelist, 1 grappler, 1 high tech. Now, for the advanced effect, when battle begins, grants resilience to all allies, absorbs direct and extra damage, can be charged through tenacity up to 480% max HP of the ally, charges tenacity on all allies by 100% max HP for 3 rounds, and the requirement for this is the same as above, but you add in Esper. Now, this character itself, it's not that he is good like I stated, it's because of the core, okay? The core is what is good. It has incredible longevity in the game, this core. This core will continue for quite a long time in the game and is practically essential to move forward. It is probably at the top tier of ratings for both PvP and PvE. Maybe not as so much for PvE because Giro still can be incredibly effective and it's sometimes better than bomb in PvE. But that core is just amazing. Now we already talked about the level 1. Now if you were to get this advanced core to level 4, basically at the start of battle grants all allies 150% max HP resilience and permanently grants 50% DOT rate. And that's what most people will be striving for. Now, if you were to go to level 10, it's basically the same except for you get a permanent grant of 50% injury rate. Really, the level 4 is what's optimized for where the teams will be going with the bomb core. At level 17, it gets kind of ridiculous, but let's be honest, who the heck's gonna get the level 17? Now, you probably noticed when we were discussing this character, a lot of discussion of HP. So it's not going to be a surprise when you're gearing this character that it's going to be pretty much HP percent is what the main focus is going to be on. You could go block, but honestly, HP percent is going to be your main focus. And again, with those, you could be looking at Scholar. Suit, of course, would be great with him. Magic, if you're lucky enough to have a set that would work. And without a doubt with this character, a broken set is completely fine if you can do all HP percent. The buff gears, you're going to have exactly the same thing. You're looking at HP percent, HP. Basically, that's where your focus is going to be. Of course, you could go with some resistance and block, but it's not going to be that important. HP is going to be your friend with gearing this character. Now, let's talk about, there are some cons with this character besides the pros, okay? You know, the cons, resilience effect does not absorb DOT or injury, hence ATT becomes incredibly important, like we've spoken about before in this era. The resilience effect only lasts 3 rounds. The agility effect for surrounding allies is cross-shaped, so you have to keep that in mind when you're placing your characters out there. So if agility is not applicable to a specific unit, especially one with non-crit damage free, like ATT and RMG, then of course take that into consideration when you're putting your teams on the field. The core lineup is back to the traditional 1 duelist, 1 grappler, 1 high tech, 1 esper, which causes severe limitations, especially troublesome with grapplers. So you're really going to have to really get a blueprint of what you want to use, and that's where your focus should be. But even with all that said about the cons, the pros just outweigh it. It is where the meta will go. It's just know that is it, okay? It will be the longest meta for some time that we've seen in this game for us. The new mechanic resilience, which absorbs that direct damage and extra damage, it's huge to the game and game changing, because that extra damage, like Flashy Flash's follow-up of AoE effect, or VM's Vaccine Man's passive, they're absorbed. You can stack any tenacity, and to be able to do it up to 480% max HP and convert it into resilience is crazy. And it provides that permanent 30% block rate, which, you know, most core effects usually drop off after the 2nd round. In this particular case, that's not going to be the case, which makes it absolutely amazing at times. And then you have also the addition of agility, okay, which basically the lesser number of hits received, the more direct damage is nullified. So RMG's 2nd hit is reduced by 48%, for example, so that lowers the effectiveness of RMG. So those counter low hit ult units, SSR Genos is going to have some serious problems unless you have completely and utterly wailed on yours. It's also going to have issues. Again, it is literally going to be the strongest hero core for so long. It's not even funny. You get the unyielding once, which is super nice. It synergizes really well with shield units. You know, your SSRMI, if you can find a place for him, is gonna love this. So there are a lot of stuff that helps. And of course, God, I can't believe I'm forgetting this, the Undying Shield emblem synergizes just perfectly with this, and that's why that should have been your focal point when that portion of the game, the emblems, opened up. Now, again, it's much easier for people that spend in this game to look at all their options. If you're free to play, you know, again, marrying on what you got, there's things you're going to want to be looking at. Like, for instance, Kogetsu will be strong because of his passive and buffing up shield effects. Watchdog Man, if you have him, can be very strong. CK for now is not going to be good because that damage reflect will be absorbed. So keep that in mind. If you're lucky enough to have SSRMI, that's a good option for grapplers. Of course, Tank Top Man is a solid choice, which most free-to-play players should have. So that's one that you may be wanting to focus on, especially if you're free to play. When you're looking at high-tech slots, you know, there's, again, quite a few options that can work for you. So DK, of course, is going to be good, especially if you're using ATT. Child Emperor is not a bad choice. If you've been playing this game from early on, you probably already have one, especially if you're free to play. Dr. Genius is also good because of that buffing. Lightning Genji, again, could be a good unit to take advantage of if you're free to play. G4 you probably don't have if you're free to play. Same with SSR Genos, and if you do, I'm not so sure those are going to be your best options. When you're thinking espers though, I mean, we've already talked about this. ATT is just an incredibly solid choice. The backup would maybe be Glory Boss as your possible replacement for that. Again, DOT detonators, you know, your Vaccine Man monster I always chose. RMG is going to be okay if you have the KS, but it's not going to definitely be as strong as it was in the past. And then duelists, you know, Awakened Sonic, of course, is a super solid choice. Magic Man, ironically, with that bonus damage and free passive, could be incredibly important for you, especially if you're free to play and don't have Awakened Sonic. Don't sleep on that particular character because it could be really good. Zombie Man's pretty much going to be out, and Flashy Flash, you probably don't have if you're free to play, so I won't even be considering it, nor even if I had it, I'm not sure I would consider it. So yeah, he is probably he is a must-have unit. Now the question is, what do you do? Okay, well, this is not a video about the debate of the pros and cons of their choice, but I can tell you this though, for everybody, we are going to do a major giveaway like we did for when Giro came out in the backup stick. I'm anticipating doing 150 $10 gift cards to help at least 15 players be able to get the backup stick. I'll have a subsequent video for what you will need to do to be able to get that. And if you want to enter, by all means, I would like to help the community out in hopes of getting a few of you to be able to get this, if it is literally impossible for you to spend that money to get this character. But in the end, this was a video just to give you the breakdown and discussion of Bomb and how important he will be and how meta changing he will be. We'll talk about the other issues in another video. With that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot.